نوينا تعلم وتعليم وتذكر وتذكير ونفع والاندفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم ودعاء إلى الهدى ودلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجهه ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين 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 يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. We'll continue with our book. The blue book lah. Don't have the blue book. Inshallah we'll just read from this book today. Okay. So today we are still in Rabiul Awal. So we are still in Rabiul Awal. And last week I read a bit about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some lessons right from his life. But of course, if you want to go into this full life story, it will be a full course, a full class that is about the life story of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the lessons about the life of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right, so I think we'll go back to our book today, inshallah. The book you all have with you, the book that is blue, the blue book. Okay, and we are on the part of, are we actually knowledge? What page are we at? I think we are at the part of knowledge, right? Correct, knowledge. Alright, chapter 2 about seeking knowledge. Right, so it says here, right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I'm reading from this book. It's the same book from Imam al-Haddad, but the translator is different. Right, so the words that I read here, it might be a bit different from the regular words. Right, all the structure might be a bit different, but it's okay. The same content, and the content is the same. Right, the message is the same. Okay, so I'll just read from here. Right, so seeking knowledge. So he says here, I counsel you, which I advise you. And this book is a book of beneficial counsels. It means advice that benefit us. And that's why I like this book. It's a very simple book. Very simple yet heavy. Very simple yet heavy. And because it is advice from the Shaykh, Imam al-Haddad. And we spoke about Imam al-Haddad. And this advice is needed by everybody in life. Right, so no matter how young you are, like 11 or 12 or 13 or 14 years old, up to 16 years old, and no matter how old you are, whether 60 years, 70 or 80 years old, and whatever Imam al-Haddad says in this book, it is of the greatest counsels. Like in this book at the back here, Abu Omar actually says, right, that among the greatest counsels or the greatest advice, like counsel will be advice. That a school counselor is someone who counsels you and advises you. Have you all ever got sent to the school counselor before? Have you ever got sent to the school counselor? Alhamdulillah. Because if you are sent to the school counselor, usually that means you need something, or maybe you have some problem, or maybe you have some issues, or a teacher is worried for you. Right? And then you get sent to a school counselor. Correct? Right? And what will the school counselor do? They will just talk to you. And they will talk to you and they will counsel you. That means advice. I will advise you, they see what's wrong, what's the problem, right? And then they will try and advise you. So Habib Omar actually says that among the greatest counsels, or the greatest advice of the foremost scholars of this Ummah of Islam, are the counsels of Imam al-Haddad. They are full of light and purity, which emanates and literally shines forth from the truthfulness of the Imam's words and states, and the secret of his prophetic inheritance. Like Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is inherited not by money, but by advice and wisdom and knowledge. That's how he's inherited. Money will not come from Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the people after him, but knowledge. Right? There was once Sayyidina Abu Hurairah and Sayyidina Ibn Abbas. they went out to the market streets, the streets of the streets of the marketplace, and they said, why are you all here in the marketplace when the inheritance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being distributed in the masjid? So when everybody think of the inheritance, they think money, right? Because inheritance is money. If I die now, the money in my bank will be inherited by my husband, and my husband inherits my money. If I have children, my children inherit my money. If I have parents who are still alive, my parents inherit my money. Right? So when I die, whatever belongs to me, right, my family will get the inheritance. It's called inheritance, right? It is money. Right? So Sayyidina Abu Hurairah and Sayyidina Ibn Abbas and Ibn Umar, right, went to the marketplace and they all exclaimed loudly, why are you all here when the inheritance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being distributed in the masjid? So everybody thought it was money being distributed. So they all rushed to the masjid. They all ran, oh, his inheritance is being distributed. We want to get some. Right, so they all ran to the masjid looking for money to be distributed there. And they found there was no money distributed there. But it was circles of knowledge. Right, simple circles learning about Islam. And when they all got to the masjid, they all said, hey, where's the inheritance? Abu Hurairah, Ibn Umar, Ibn Abbas, they all said the inheritance is being distributed. We don't see any inheritance being distributed. Where's the money? And they said, there, in the circles. Right, the circles, the halaqah, the groups of people, right, and they are learning the knowledge of the religion. That is the inheritance of the Prophet. Correct, right? So it's being distributed by people teaching. It's being distributed. You're wasting your time in the marketplaces. You should be here in the masjid, right, and learning your religion. Right, so Imam al-Haddad, right, he in his words are the secrets of automatic inheritance. This is a direct effect, this has a direct effect on the heart and the soul of the reader and the listener, and prepares him to experience divine gifts in the high stations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why I chose this book for you. It's a simple book, yet heavy. Simple and heavy. Right? Heavy for everybody. Right? Even for me to apply the book. Right? It can be heavy, but it's simple enough to understand. Inshallah, simple enough to understand. So the first advice, remember the first advice he spoke to us about, was taqwa, right? Right? Taqwa means doing as Allah says and staying away from what Allah has prohibited us, correct? That is taqwa. Doing as Allah says and staying away from what Allah has prohibited. And we went through the part about taqwa. Right? Taqwa, the Malay word takut is the same word. Right? Taqwa, takut, the same word. Right? So to have taqwa, that means you are afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of a day of judgment. Right? At the end of the day, every Muslim should have that. Every Muslim should be afraid of the day of judgment. If the one who is not afraid of the day of judgment, Allah will make them afraid on the day of judgment. You gotta be afraid here in this world and be at peace on the day of judgment, or you want to be at peace in this world, complacent, right, relaxing, and then be fearful on the day of judgment. So do you prefer? Have fear here, right? That is better, right? That is relax under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can drink all your drinks that you want to drink. You will never finish. You don't have to be afraid, right? On the day of judgment, it will be pitch black. It's dark. There's no light there. On the day of judgment, it's dark. People will hear the howling winds. They will hear the sky above them cracking and crumbling and breaking apart. It's horrifying. Right? The description of a day of judgment, the sky is spinning. Can you imagine? The sky is red, black, red. Right? It's dark, but it's reddish dark. Right? And the sky will spin and spin and spin above you. It's scary. Incredibly scary, right? And the whole time the sky is spinning, you will hear cracking sounds. So the sky is spinning apart. You will hear crashing and cracking and loud like bursts of sounds in the sky. Like as human beings, it's scary, right? Like if you hear bursting above you, what do? You can run somewhere, right? Then what's going on? Right? Even when you hear thunderclap, I dare you scared. Right? You know thunderclap it's just the lightning, right, going past in the sky. Of course you hear thunderclap, right? You will be like, oh, this is scary. Like, can you imagine the whole sky is breaking apart? Loud sounds come from the sky. Day of judgment. The sun is right above the hill. Like this high above the sun. Like the brains are boiling. Like this is terrifying. Day of judgment. Except those who are under Allah's throne. And we spoke about them. The 7 groups of people under Allah's throne. Do you remember who they are? 7 groups of people. At least aim to be one of the groups, right? Because you don't want to be someone who's not under the throne of Allah, right? You don't want to be exposed to the sun right above your head. Do you want that? Or you don't want to be sweating and drowning in your sweat. Do you want that? Or you don't want that at all. You want to be, and from far you see, hey, Allah's throne. Hey, people under that throne. I wish I was one of them. Right? Because those who are under Allah's throne, they are relaxing on couches and drinking and eating and they're already in their Jannah. But they're waiting for the day of judgment. But they're under Allah's throne. And those who are not under Allah's throne, they must stand. They cannot sit. So it's called Yawmul Qiyamah. Because you stand. The day of standing. You cannot sit. Like already in this world, if I ask you to go and queue up under the hot sun for 1 hour, can I know? Don't want to tahan, right? And I so hot. Then you complain, right? It's so hot. If I say stand the entire time for 3 hours, your knees start to hurt, right? Like your ankles start to hurt, like your legs begin to ache. Day of judgment, the standing can be about 70,000 years. Just standing and waiting for your turn. So you want to be resting under Allah's throne. You want that, right? So that means memorize the 7 people, 7 groups. Who are the 7 groups? Choose to be one of them. Which is the easiest one. Do you remember who are the 7 groups or not? Who is the first group? I remember, I think I on the whiteboard, right? I remember on the whiteboard. Why on Zoom? Last time, long time ago. The first group, write down. Who wants to write down my whiteboard? Yeah, I read it. But you must jump on the couch. You can. I pull this up. Oh, what was it? Okay. Can. Okay, first 7 people shaded under Allah's throne. Seven people means 7 groups, okay? Not the 7 people only. So everybody not us lah. Somebody else already. 7 groups, okay? Under Allah's throne. On a day whereby there is no shade. Right? On the day whereby there is no shade. Except his. Okay, number 1. A fair leader. Okay, I write down all first, okay? Number 2. Number 2. A person who loves the masjid. Okay. Number 3. A young person who grew up worshipping Allah and died that way. Who grew up worshipping Allah. See, now I know I have told this hadith because this is the first hadith I shared with you all when I began the class. You got off number 3. Worshipping Allah and died that way. Okay. Number 4. Okay, number 4. Two people who love each other and only for Allah, for the sake of Allah. They meet only for Allah and they part only for Allah. Okay. Alright, number 5. A man whom a beautiful woman calls him to sin, but he says, I fear Allah. Okay, number 6. The one who gives charity in secret, such that his left hand does not know what his right hand gives. His left hand does not know what his right hand gives. And the last one. Okay, must memorize all 7, okay? Last one. A person who sits alone and remembers Allah and his eyes well up in tears. Okay, jazakumullah khair, Arya. Okay, 7 people. You're going to choose which one your one. Can choose to be all 7 also. Okay, no, choose to be all 7. Possible. See the first one, a fair leader. So whatever you are made a leader of, is if you're made a leader of your group, or if you're made a leader of the CCA, or if you're made a leader of amongst your siblings, you are the oldest one. Like, or you're made a leader, wherever you're made a leader, where you're put in charge of something. Okay, when you put in charge of something, you become a leader. Right, so if you are fair and you are just, this is one of the people who will be under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, right, a person whose heart is attached to the masjid. They love the masjid. Right, when they go to the masjid, they feel tranquil in the masjid. When they leave the masjid, they think to themselves, when else can I go to the masjid? Right, they keep thinking to themselves, when can I go back? When can I go back? When can I go back? They love sitting in the masjid. And Hababa said about number 2, right, because masjid is actually meant more for the men. Like for women, it is better for you to be in the house, in the home. Right, so home, not to say in the home playing game, right, or in the home sleeping in your bed. No, on your sajadah. Okay, so for women, especially for women, it can be hard to go to masjid. Especially people who got babies, got small children, right? It's very hard for them to go to the masjid, right? Because a lot of duties at home, right? So maybe her masjid is her sajadah. Okay. She's thinking, when can I go to my sajadah? When can I sit down and read my Quran? When can I zikir? When can I pray more raka'ats? Her heart is attached to the sajadah. She wants to sit there and she wants to do her ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's number 2, okay? So of course the meaning is like that, but what it means that you are attached to worship. You want to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, a young person who grew up worshipping Allah and died doing so. So I remember telling you all these hadiths, because for this class I always mention this hadith for you all to aim to be number 3, right? A young person. Some people only, after their 30s to their 40s, and then they become serious about their religion. Then they start to pray. Then they start to cover up. Then they try to be a better Muslim. Only in their 40s or their 50s. Right? Of course, may Allah accept their deeds and their repentance. Maybe they istighfar and they repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But are they like the one who began when they were 10 years old? Not the same, right? Are they like the one who began when they were 5 years old? Not the same. Are the one who worship Allah since they were 5 years old, all the way until they are 60 years old, and they never stop obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They are not the same as the one who began when he was 60 or 70. Correct? Some people will say, oh, I'm still young now, let me enjoy my life. Enjoy what? Enjoy sin. Enjoy sinning. Enjoy doing nonsense. Enjoy hurting yourself. Enjoy harming yourself. Right? Things that are haram are harmful. That's why the word haram sounds like harm. And probably it's from the same word. Right? People say haram, haram, haram. That's harmful. Right? Because whatever is haram is harmful. 100% confirm sure. Confirm. The thing that is haram is 100% harmful. Whatever is haram. Right? So when Allah says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do all these things. Why? It will destroy you. It will destroy you. So when people say, oh, we're still young, we want to enjoy, it's like them saying, oh, we're still young, let's hurt ourselves. Like, that sounds very, very foolish. Like, completely foolish, right? Say, oh, we're still young, let's hurt ourselves. Nonsense, right? Oh, we're still young, let's, don't know what you want to go and party, whatsoever. You hurt yourself, right? Because you're going to do all kinds of things that waste their life. So if you start now and you're all still young, alhamdulillah, right? Most of you are 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Still very young. Right? So you start now, you can aim to be number 3. Correct? Number 3 is easy, inshallah. But don't fall out. Some people, unfortunately, I told you last week, right? They all began young. They were praying when they were in school, when they were in primary school. They were praying 5 times a day because their parents checked them. When they go to secondary school, they stop. A lot of people I know, they stop praying Zohar and Asar when they are in secondary school. And because of CCA or extra classes or whatsoever, they stop praying Zohar and Asar. And even worse, they go to JC or they go to Poly. They stop praying Maghrib. Right? And sometimes they even stop praying Subuh when they're too tired. And eventually they stop praying Isha. When people stop praying one Salat, it is easy for them to stop praying 2. When they stop praying 2, easy to stop praying 3. When they stop praying 3, easy to drop to the 4th one. When they stop praying 4 Salats, it's easy to stop the 5th one. That's how shaitan works. And he makes you all drop Salat, makes us people drop Salat one by one. That's how he works. I know of a lot of people, like when they reach university, not praying at all. But when they were in primary school, they were praying 5 times a day. But when they were in primary school, it's like when they were in primary school, they were children, right? Children have no sin. But when they are adults in university, that's when all the sin will come to them, right? But they're not praying. And when they stop praying, what happens? They stop remembering Allah. When it's all from the Salat. Every evil comes from stopping the Salat. Shaitan knows that. And every good comes from doing the Salat. Shaitan knows that. For as long as somebody prays 5 times a day, they will never go too far away. You know what I'm saying? I say, as long as you pray 5 times a day, you will never go too far away. Even if maybe they might try something, their friends are doing and it's not good, they will still come back because the solat will pull them back. For as long as you hold on to your 5 solat, right, inshallah, no matter where you go in life, no matter what you do in life, inshallah, you will be kept right, close to Islam. Inshallah. But the moment the solat begins to stop, and I know of someone, she went through madrasah, right, and then as she was growing up, right, and she left the madrasah, stopped praying Zuhur. Zuhur is always the first time they all stop. Why? Because of work. And they're too lazy to go and pray Zuhur. It's always the first salat they will stop. And then Asar. Because they stay too long at work until Maghrib. So they all miss Zuhur, miss Asar. And once that happens, downhill destruction. They will be destroyed. Until they miss Maghrib and they miss Isha. And then after that, they get really, because they're full of sin, they become too heavy to wake up for Subuh. So after one, all 5 gone. All 5 are gone. And this person, after that, took off her hijab. It's bit by bit. Shaitan works like this. He moves bit by bit. Right? And he removes and he removes and he removes until this person has no more iman. Until they don't believe in God anymore. And they can take off her hijab. Then she wore short skirts. Then she began to wear exposed body. And she wear like spaghetti stripes, all that. Dye her hair